Raumkrieg Antarctica, I'm going to be going over the actual rules of this game. So here we have the entire board set up. I've got my American fleet on this side. I've got my German fleet on this side. The Americans have their ship and secret weapons cards over here, and I have the Germans set up here. So let's go over how to build this game as far as the rules are concerned. So we're going to use build points and squadron points. So in a normal miniatures game, you have a certain amount of points that your armies are worth. So what we're going to call those is squadron points. And so a squadron is going to consist of 10 build points, and you use those points to build your ships. So a mothership here would be worth 1 squadron point, and I would have 10 build points to build this mothership. And then, or you can split it up to have smaller ships and have fighter class ships, and I would split those 10 build points up between these two ships. So what I would do is I would have 1 squadron, so these two ships would represent 1 squadron, and I have 10 points to build these 2 ships with. Now I can either split it up evenly and have 5 points in this ship and 5 points in this ship, or I could do 4 and 6, or any combination thereof. So on top of that, with each squadron point that you have, you also get a secret weapon card. And this is an example of a secret weapon card, and I'll go over that later. And what you would do is, let's say you're going to have 3 squadrons in your game, so you would get to pick 1 secret weapon for each one of your squadrons. Assign that 1 squadron a secret weapon. So this would be 1 squadron, even though it's only 1 ship. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it would have a secret weapon. And then these 2 guys, as 1 squadron, would have a secret weapon also. So now that you've done that, well, now we have these points. So how are we going to build our ships? Okay, we're going to use this German ship as an example. And this German ship is 1 squadron, so it has 10 points. So it has 6 points in its weapons and 4 in its engines, for a total of 10 points. So if I wanted to attack with this ship, I would roll a d10 dice and add my weapons build points, which is 6, to that roll. Now that's a 1. So that's a 1 is an automatic miss, and a 10 is an automatic hit. Let's try to re-roll that. There's another 1. Oh, it's not very good. Okay, here's a 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. So my total attack with this ship is 10. And let's say I'm attacking this ship here, and its defense is only 3. So I would roll this, and it has 3 plus 3. Its defense is 6. So I would hit this ship, and it would take 1 damage. Now the way you take damage is you take off build points. So I've done 1 point of damage to this enemy ship. So right here, whoever got hit, the defender gets to pick where he wants those points to come away from. So on this particular ship, the Montauk 2, he has 7 in weapons and 3 in engines. So I would probably want to take off 1 point out of my weapon system and discard it. So now this ship only has 9 build points. And that's basically the way that the rules work. And you just move around, and every time you do an attack roll and you make a successive attack, that your opponent has to take off 1 of their points off 1 of their ships. So basically what's going to happen is, over time, as you take damage, your ships are going to slowly become weaker and weaker, and then when either the weapons or the engine systems reaches 0, then that ship is destroyed. So you would want to take your build points down. Now this is all determined on your strategy. You can either do it evenly, or you can do all one system all the way down to 1 and then start working on the other system, or vice versa. But once either your engines or your weapon system reaches 0, then that ship is destroyed. And that's basically the game. I can't think of anything else any more to say. Actually, let's go over these clouds here. Now I've put some clouds in here, and while we were testing this game, on hindsight, I would have made these clouds a lot bigger, because you can sit here and you can cheap shot people by just, you can move out of the cloud and shoot, and then move back into the cloud. Move out of the cloud and shoot, move back into the cloud. And to take cheap shots. Whereas you kind of treat these clouds as buildings. Once you're inside of one, you can neither shoot out of nor shoot into it. But any ship that is inside a cloud with another ship, they can fight amongst themselves. So just treat the clouds like buildings, but I would make them a lot bigger than this, because like this one mothership can fit into this cloud, but I can't get another mothership into it. And that became a little bit of a problem. So that's basically the way clouds work, and you can move behind clouds and take cover. And the land masses really don't affect the gameplay any. It's just like these are the starting areas. And I'm using a 2-inch grid here. You can use any movement space that you want, because all your movement is like, if you're using inches or you're using a grid or you're using a hexagon system, it really doesn't matter. It's pretty generic. So if your engines have 4, then you can move 4 spaces, whatever those spaces may be. If you have a weapons of 6, then you can shoot 6 spaces, whether that's inches or squares or hexes or whatever that happens to be. Let me think. The spaceships, I went over how I made the spaceships, but this is the first time you get to see them. And on this one, these tops came with little lights, and I actually integrated the little lights into these German ships here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually pretty cool at night. It's like the little beam that abducts people in the middle of the night and stuff. Now I'm going to get some close-ups of this, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks a lot.